to a new broadcast. My name is Malcolm Mulho, and I'm so glad to be back with you. If you're new to this channel, we discuss Bible-based subjects, so please consider subscribing. I'll really appreciate that. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to a new broadcast, and today's topic will be I'll take your word for it, taken from Joshua chapter 2. Now, after God tells Joshua that no one will be able to defeat him all his life, and that just as God was with Moses, he would be with him, God told him, I will not leave you nor forget you. Joshua sent out spies to Jericho. The king finds out that there are spies in the city and sent out guards to get them. And then we see in Joshua chapter 2 that there is a prostitute named Rahab. She hid them in her house. And then when the guards came to her door and asked her about these spies, she says that she did not know that they were spies and that she saw them getting out of the city before the gates closed. She told them that if they hurry up, they might be able to catch up with them. And then after the guards left, the Bible tells us that before the spies went to bed, and at this point they were on the rooftop, Rahab the whore, she went to the roof and said to them, I know that the Lord has given you this land and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the two kings of the Amorites, east of the Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted in fear, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on the earth below, says Rahab. And she continues, he said, now then, please give me your word that you will show kindness to my family because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them, and that you will save us from death. Our lives for your lives, says the man to her. They assured her that they will keep their promises. But they said there are conditions. If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us this land. So she let them down by the rope through the window, for the house she lived in was part of the city wall. She said to them, go to the hills so the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourself there 3 days until they return, and then go on your way. Now the man had said to her, this oath you made us swear will not be binding on us unless when we enter the land you have tied the scarlet cord in the window through which you let us down, and unless you have brought your father and mother, your brothers and sisters, and all your family into your house. If any of them go outside your house in the streets, their blood will be on their own heads. We will not be responsible. As for those who are in the house with you, their blood will be on our head if a hand is laid on them. But if you tell what we are doing, we will be released from the oath you made us swear. And the Bible said that Rahab agreed, and she said, let it be as you say. So she sent them away, and they departed, and she tied the scarlet cord in the window. Now let's fast forward. This all happened in Joshua chapter 2. But let's fast forward to Joshua chapter 6, where we will see that after they walked on the 7 days, 7th time around the walls of the city Jericho, the Bible tells us in verse 20, when the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, And at the sound of the trumpet, when the men gave a loud shout, the wall collapsed. So everyone charged straight in and they took the city. They devoted the city to the Lord and destroyed with the sword every living thing in it, men and women, young and old, cattle, sheep and donkeys. Joshua said to the two men who he had sent out as spies in the land, "Go into the prostitute's house and bring her out and all who belong to her, in accordance with your oath to her." So the young men who had done the spying went in and brought out Rahab, her father and mother, her brothers and sisters, and all who belonged to her. They brought out her entire family and put them in a place outside the camp of Israel. Then they burned the whole city and everything in it. Today we learn that when God tells you that He is with you, believe that He is. Also follow His instructions carefully. People will notice that God is with you, and through your life and testimonies, they will respect God and follow Him. Yes, our life is like an open Bible. When they see how God performs in our lives, it will attract them and they will confess that He is God and they will follow Him. The same grace God gives us, we need to give others. And that's in the story of Rahab. She showed these men grace. She spared their life. And in return, these men saved her. When you give someone your word, keep it. Do not break your promises. Yes, these two spies and even Joshua, he made sure that they kept their word. And as a matter of fact, I am sure that you that are watching love God. And if you really love Him and God is a promise keeper, then keep yours too. This is it for today's broadcast. Until we see you again, stay safe. Goodbye.